Hi everyone, and welcome to April's online class. It's nearly Easter, so I'm hoping I'll get this out ready for you so you might be able to do something over Easter. Well, this month we're going to be working on waterfall cards, and I'm just showing you this page in the current mini because one of the stamp sets, one of the cards is all about the snail mail. And we're using the DSP to cut out all our pictures, so there's no stamping really at all unless you want to put a sentiment on the card. So this is still available until June, so I just thought I would show you like all the beautiful papers, the stamp sets, the dies are really great as well. So I'll just put that aside and bring in the card. So I've done a couple of these cards for you. So this is basically what you'll be doing in your kit. So you've got this little waterfall that just pulls along like so, and you push back. And inside is just the basic card. So this is just stamped. I've done a little cutout for you so you don't have to do any stamping, and you'll just see the gorgeous little heart embellishments on each one here. So these are all cut out of our DSP. So you will get a variety of those in your kit for you to cut out and put on yours as well. So put that aside. And that's just one of the little mushrooms from the framelits that's cut out. This is the embellishments from the hearts. So I'll just pull them out to stop with the glitter. So you get a heap of white and the red little hearts. You'll have those in your kit as well. So now basically the card is very easy. So I've done all the cutting out and sticking on of these little pieces because you don't want to be sitting there. Everybody knows how to cut out and stick on. So I've given you the Whisper White cardstock, so you will be cutting that down. So if you've got the stitch shapes framelits, you can cut out like I have done, so you can see the tiny bit stitching here. Otherwise you're going to cut out about a 2 1/8 square. All the measurements are on your PDF file. So I've just left this one like this because you will get your red cardstock cut out like this, your white, which will be plain, that you're going to cut out, and we're just going to mount that on there like so. This is our little framelit that I've cut out for you, and I've got the adhesive on the back so you can just peel that off like a sticker. So I've done the base of the card, so this little bit will just go in here. So it's really the mechanism of the waterfall that we want to do. I'll just put that aside. Our ribbon, our envelope. So this is what's going to make the mechanism of our rain waterfall card. Sorry, got rain on my mind. Lack of it. So this is 4 inches by 9 inches. So in your kit, I have done this template for you all, just so you might be able to follow along a little bit easier. So this was actually this piece of cardstock, and how I've just cut it down and where our score lines are, so you'll be able to follow along quite easy with it. So I'll put that back. So what we've got, you'll need your trimmer, unless you just wanted to copy and cut around that, but it's a good idea to learn it like this. I've had to put it sideways so I can actually see, so I'm not hitting my head on lights and everything. So first off, we're going to put the 4 inch up to the top of the trimmer, and you are going, this is your cutting part here. This is the top of the trimmer. I've got it this way so you can actually see. So we're going to measure that to 3/4 of an inch over here. And then I'll just bring this in. This is 3/4 of an inch here, these two sides, and it's 1 inch down. So we're going to get our cutting blade, and you've got 1 inch measured here. I'll just lift that up, might be easy for you to see. you've got your 1 inch here. You're just going to line that up, and once you get that lined up, you can push down into your cardstock. So we're going to push that down, and we're just going to cut straight down. So then we're going to lift and flip the card over and do exactly the same. Lined up on our 3/4 of an inch. I can't quite get over it, so I'm hoping that's right. And then I'm just going to line up on the 1 inch, push your card, your flap back in, and then cut down. So you've got your 2 flaps cut like this. So now, because this was 1 inch here, what we come down from, we're just going to line it up on the 1 inch mark. You can either get a pair of snips and just cut in, or you just line up. So you've got a little line on your cutting blade. So this little line here, you're going to line up with where you've cut. So I've cut this line, and then I'm just going to cut down. And then you can just flip it over and do the same thing. If you're confident enough, just lift your blade and go up to the top one as well. But this is just an easy way for you to start to get confident. So push down and slip down, and that cuts out. Now this end, we're going to do this little tag bit here. So it's still 3/4 of an inch in and 1 inch down. We're just doing it at the opposite end. So 3/4 of an inch, 1 inch down, but this time we're not going to go down, we're going to go up. And flip it over. So we want to line up to 1 inch. Whoops. Push down and up. So now we're just going to do exactly the same. Line up for the inch and just cut in to our 3/4 of an inch mark. So we're really just cutting those little bits out. So now we're going to line up here on our 1 inch, sorry, on our 1/2 inch, because this is 1 inch and we just want to score. So get rid of our cutting blade, bring our scoring blade in. We just want to score that section here. So we're just scoring that because that's going to be a little tab we need. So I'm just going to turn this around now. So now we're going to do our scoring. So here's our scoring marks here. We've got lots of scores that's going to create our waterfall here. So the first one we're going to do is at 2.5 inches. So scorer, not the cutter. 2.5. Just make sure it's lined up. 3. 3.5. And 4. I'm just going to put that aside so you can see our score lines. Now all I want you to do is burnish those both ways, front and back. So go along and do them all one way and then turn them around and do them the other. And just flip it over and do the other. Now there's a few different ways to do a waterfall card. Most of them have a band. I just like this way better because you're going to actually fold these bits down and you don't see any of the mechanism on the card at all. So when you get to this little bit, because of all the fold lines, you're going to get this tiny little bit here. It mightn't worry you, or it might. So sorry, I'm just looking for a pair of scissors. If it does worry you, just push it right up, and then you can just snip that last little bit out if you want to. You can do that. That's if you want to. Now, you come to this bit here, and all you're going to do is fold. Can you see that on the camera? I'm not sure. You're just going to fold them. You don't have to do a score line. Just fold them neatly, and that's how your mechanism's going to work. But once you do that, just open it out, and this end here, I have found it's easier for the whole thing to work if this is just taking a tiny little bit off either side. So I've just got my scissors and I'm just cutting up to the first score line. Just that tiny little bit off each side. And if you take a little bit more, it doesn't really matter because it's all going to be covered up under the cardstock anyway. But that just gives a little bit of movement. Once you put these down and you're going to start pulling, it just pulls a lot easier. That's just my tip. I found that easier when I first made it. It was a bit stiff and I didn't need the hassle of that, so I just chopped it down a bit. So, okay, we're going to bring in the half-made card I've got. So you'll get your piece of cardstock, you're just going to fold it in half. You're going to put your piece, whatever you got, on the front. This one I've put the little snails, the other side is just the stripy bit, and I've just put my piece of Whisper White inside. So I'm going to just put my little mushroom inside that you just take off. So if you haven't got these sticky sheets yet to do a lot of your framelits, it's your best investment because you can just stick this on, no glue, no fuss. And that's your inside done. You've got your plain paper. So all we're going to do is put this here, and then we're going to make it look pretty. First off, we're going to add a little bit of glue just on that little flap. Don't add too much, or whatever adhesive you like to use, and just hold that down. And I've got a little bit of ribbon, and I'm just stapling it on. Trying to do things too fast and it hasn't dried. Just get my stapler. And staple the ribbon on like so. So now you can use tear and tape, your favourite adhesive. I've just found the glue's fine. I don't go right to the edge because I don't want it to spurt right out. If you allow a little bit of room, it will won't ooze out the sides. So just, that's the only little bit that you're going to be sticking. Everything else is free. So we're just going to get it in the middle or thereabouts and stick that down. Just hold that a fraction. So this card can be made lots of different ways. You can make it on the side, you can make it up and down like this one, you can make your cards open from the side or from the roof. So each different one I've made is just a little bit different way, but it's just exactly the same idea. So once you've got the mechanism, you can pretty well make whatever card you like. So I've assembled all these so you don't have to sit and watch me make these, and all you're going to do is add your decorated piece onto your coloured cardstock. So you're going to work out which one you want on the front. On here, where's the other one so I can show you? So this one I want the happy birthday up the top. So you sort of work backwards. You put them in the order you want and you work backwards. So this is the one that is stuck on fully. So you would adhere that totally onto the flat cardstock. Now you'll see this tiny little crease here. Don't cover the crease because that's where it needs, can you see that crease? That's where you need it to be able to bend. So your next one is just going to be on this bit in here. So in between those two score lines, and you're only sticking that top bit just up to the crease line. Just up to that crease line. And the last one. So you've got your happy birthday on top. Now all these cute little pictures are out of the designer series paper. So it's very easy to just cut them out. I'm just going to give that a little bit to glue to stick. I don't want them flapping off, and then you just pull like so. Your first time might be a little bit, you might have to help it back a little bit, but that is as simple as your waterfall cards are. And you'll just add your little embellishments on each one. And I've just stuck a little of the cutouts on the envelope. So I've got a couple more here. They're basically all the same. I didn't know whether there was just different. It's got the to a granddaughter. These ones are happy birthday, and this is granddaughter one as well. So I'll put those aside and just show you. So I've used Snailed It stamp set, and I've used the grandkid, the sayings. So anyone with grandkids, this is great. Lots of different sayings as well. And sad to say that this is the stitched framelits, and they are in our retirement list. So this is the square that I've used, but otherwise you're just going to cut with your trimmer a 2 1/8 inch square. I thought these stitched shapes would stay forever. They're retiring. And lots of the framelits for the snail, it cuts straight out of the DSP as well. So I'm just going to sit that aside. And I'm going to bring in another little one. I'm just going to show you what I've used. Okay, so this one is just a baby card, virtually made exactly the same. I've just made the card from the side and just with the little pull toys. So this is a stamp set I've used. You just use whatever you've got, and this DSP is from the Celebration, so lots of you would have got the free DSP in Celebration. So this one, next one is, I've just done it with the boy. So I've put it on the side, and this is out of the free DSP in the Celebration as well. and I've just done it this way, like so. That one's a little bit firmer. I probably didn't take quite enough off on the sides, but you can still do that afterwards anyway. So there, and they just look completely different. So now I've cheated again and I've started for you. This is more of the freebie out of the celebration. So I'll just run through how to do the mechanism again, and I've already done these pictures for you. So I've used the Balmy Blue paper in this one, and in the one that you guys will get is the Rocco Rose, which is lovely for the girl. So to get these images, I've stamped them. I've stamped them in basic grey, and I'm not sure whether you have used any of our Stampin' blends yet, but these are an alcohol marker, sorry, and we have a light and a dark in each colour, and that allows for blending and getting a nice blend of your colours, so where you need it darker in different places. I'm not going to show you how to do that today, but I will do a class on blends in the future. So I'm just going to run through that mechanism one more time, and then I'll show you the third card, but you'll be able to just replay the video then. So I'll just bring this trimmer back in. So we're just going to put it on our side. So you can have your template close by so you know what you're doing. But you have your 4-inch side up the top. Line it up on the 3/4 of an inch mark. You're going to come down to your 1 inch. You might be able to see it a bit better on the light blue. Come down to your 1 inch mark, push it down and just go straight down. Flip your cardstock. Line up again on your 3/4 of an inch mark. Line up here on your 1 inch. And straight down. So if you want to just snip in with your scissors, that's fine as well. There's no right or wrong. So just do it this way if you might feel more comfortable doing that. That's fine. So this time we're going to up here. So we're still coming down 1 inch. And we're still lining up on 3/4 of an inch. But this time we're going up. We're going to flip it over, 3/4 of an inch. I think I need a new blade in my cutter. Line up on 1 inch and cut up. And you can just grab your scissors and cut in. I think this one was a bit short because I couldn't see it real good. So now we're just going to line up on our 1/2 inch and bring in our scoring tool. Not sure we're 1/2 inch about there, and just score. So we're just scoring that little bit on the end. We're going to turn this around just to make it a little bit easier, and we're going to line up at 2.5 inches. So we're going to score 2.5, then 3, 3.5, and 4. Just put that aside. Get your bone folder, and we're going to burnish them all, both sides. Flip it. Now I can see where my cutter's a little bit fuzzy there, and we're just going to do that one as well. So you can see, oh, I've got it the wrong way. And then we're just going to fold these over. And that's your mechanism there. But first, we're going to cut a small piece off each side. Just to that first score line. It's only little, but it's enough. So we're going to glue this little bit here. Hold it down. Don't know whether I've got any twine here. But in your lot, there you'll have twine. You're just going to put a hole in the centre like so. And I'll just grab some, if I can see it. Sorry ladies. So all I've done is, I just did it 4 ways. Nothing very technical. Just left it like that. Just chopped a little bit off. So we'll bring the card back in, get the right way. So this time we're going to make it go sideways. So you can use your tear and tape or your glue, whatever you like. Just not too close to the edges. And we're just going to centre it on our card, or thereabouts. So I want my I want this one on the bottom here, so when they flip it open, and it doesn't really matter which way these go. So your full one gets first or last, whichever one you want. The one on the bottom gets totally stuck down, and it only goes up to the crease line, not over it. So only up to that crease line. You can still see the crease line. And we just want to do this bit. I don't put it on the crease line. Just up to the crease line again. These cards can be used for any sort of greeting card, even like small photos. You can get your photos printed really small now, so it would be even great in your scrapbooking. You could just do a little waterfall in your scrapbooking, or even in like a 21st card or something, just showing a few photos of the person whose birthday it is. And you can jazz it up any way you like. Just need a couple of minutes for that. And there's our little waterfall card on the side. and that just lifts. So that's the second one, and I'll just show you the last one that I've done. I've used the vine design stamps, and also the DSP is again in the celebration. So this one I don't have this stamp set, so I was just messing around with it at a girl's. It's a little Easter one, and I've turned it into a baby card. So I covered up the Easter eggs with little baby toys and just put congratulations to your little one. So here's another one. I've just done it on the other side, and this was wholly and solely with all the papers out of this DSP. I've just cut around the flowers, and just inside just put the paper on the inside and even on the envelope. So this and this one here I've stamped, so it's exactly the same with that. So I won't do that again for you because you'll be probably thinking it's exactly the same, which is correct. So the whole all those cards are just so easy with the one mechanism, but all totally different cards. I'll just bring a few of them back in so you can see them. We'll get a different colour there. So I hope you enjoy your waterfall card, and I'd love to see a few of you post on my Facebook page. I'll put up a link to all the cards, and if you post yours, it's just great to see that I know you've done them and that you've enjoyed doing them. Okay, thanks ladies. I'll see you next month. Bye bye.